Tagion is the new kids on the block, and they're using a completely different approach to stablecoins, so we'd like to explore it. A few minutes ago, you brought up free-floating monetary systems, so this is what we would like to explore. Just moved a little bit. So could you share with us what it actually is for those of us that are not practicing everyday economics?
Yeah. So can you hear me? Yeah. So I think the coined term stablecoin, it doesn't make much sense from a monetary point of view at all. It just means we pay something else, right? So, but we are trying to create something that has, you could say, a stabilized pricing based on the goods and services in an economy. So we need to tie the actual assets to the monetary system. And it means there will not be some kind of, you could say, pegging. So there is no central control of the supply. It's free floating based on demand and supply. There is also like external systems towards other currencies who will be free floating basically. So it means it's like a normal, independent, free floating monetary system, like the US dollar or euro, whatever. They're controlled by the central bank though, but it's free floating and independent. That's the aim. Like Bitcoin, it's exactly the same. We just want to, you could say, build on the vision of Bitcoin, but extend it and make it scalable, actually make it work, make it stable, and also make the governance work. So it's a common good for all who uses it. Does it make sense?
It makes sense. So if I separate the first part of the free-floating monetary system from the last part where you said decentralized, scalable, and governance, that sounds like many crypto projects such as Algorand or many other blockchains we know would claim. So how are you different from this one?
Yeah, we started in 2017, and we're a bit old, all of us. So we work in traditional finance tech. I'm the youngest one, I think, of the founders. And we thought we needed basically better infrastructure, better databases, better consensus mechanisms, governance mechanisms. So we didn't knew actually how to solve it. So we solved this the last 3 years, and now we're more or less ready to go live. So that's mainly, so we didn't like promote it ourselves. I don't know if that's, and then you could say the governance, it's, when you have an economy, you know, somebody's taking up the iron ore from the ground, processing it, bringing it to a factory, taking it to a shop, you're buying it as a consumer. That's how an economy works, how you produce value, so to speak. If you look at that, you could say supply or value chain, we try to tie ourselves into that so people can actually use it for daily transactions. So we focus on the grocery transaction. We have some prototypes with, you could say, within the industry as well to do transactions, but also do other kinds of, you could say, valuable transactions, as for example, doing an order, doing an invoice, and so forth, because it's all like the nerve system of an economy. So, because why should we actually divide it? Why should we divide it? I think it's based on history that we actually divide the different kind of systems. We can just look at it as one economic system that is an electronic nerve system connected to it, and that's like what we are aiming at. So now I've just brought it out as well, but yeah.
Thank you. Guys, I just heard ordering, but ordering doesn't exist in blockchain, so how are you sorting it out?
Yeah, so we are not using, you could say, traditional blockchain technology. We are using a DAG, and it's hash graph. It's not HITA hash graph, but they did the math work, so to speak. So we implemented our own prototype of a hash graph, but it has some built-in problems, both with governance, node governance, because you cannot build in a race protocol as proof of work into a DAG. It's a mathematical proof. So we solved that, the governance part. There's also some heavy problems with communications. It's a lot of overhead. We solved that. And then we created our own decentralized database underneath to actually store the outputs of the system, so we don't store the whole graph all the time to optimize the storage.
Okay, I was going to ask you about how you sort it, but you already gave me all the answers.
But that means we will get some other features than we have on a blockchain. So a blockchain system is a probable system, right? So you have a probability when you have a race. So the 6 blocks is the longest chain, and you have a probability of 99.97 or something. Probability, this is the truth, right? So if you had theoretically a lot of hash power, you could like make another truth. So it's a probable solution, and also if you pay higher fees, you get in front of others. So it's not a fixed order, and it's not fair because if you pay more, you get in front. So you don't have normal ordering as you have in central databases. If you, for example, have a bid on ask queue, you want to order the bids on ask to do, for example, price discovery at the top. It's pretty simple, but if you don't have an order, it's pretty impossible, right? Then you need to use an oracle. So when you have a DAC, you have full ordering. It's a deterministic function. It means you will get full ordering of all transactions. You can actually do price discovery, you can do matching settlements because you have the ordering of the backbone of the system. That's a big upgrade compared to like normal blockchain infrastructure.
Yeah, you answered all my questions.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you why do we need ordering, how are you going to handle the oracles. You gave it all to me. Thank you. So, well, then a tougher question coming up. You wait. So 2017, we're now 2021. Yeah. I think you're more than 20 people. You have been working on it. You have funded it yourself. So how come you're still in the stealth mode and we don't see there?
Yeah, we are pretty slow, right? So no, I'm myself also from the university. We have a lot of engineers. We need to do research and development the first 2.5 years because we didn't know if we could solve, we could say, both the consensus problem, the communications problems with a DAC, and we also needed to solve the storage part as well to get it to work. And it took us around 2.5 years to create the prototypes for this and make it work, and it works now. And we have the first 3 testnets up and running, and we are planning to go live this year, more or less.
That was my last question, but well, now we will be watching you. By the end of the year, we expect Tagion live, and then we'll see that all you have just shared with us will work. Anything else you want to share? Because all my questions were just immediately answered.
Just the reflection being here, we're not that many, but also listening to the others and the NFT guys up here. I think we've not been that much out, to be honest. We're just boring and working, but I think it's important to think of, we need to make something compete with the ordinary monetary system, so we don't just get trapped with solving like derived problems from our current solutions and tech, for that matter. It's important that we keep being innovative and want to do societal innovation, actually create a better system for normal people to do societal innovation. We have a lot of
commons. That's what you said.
Yeah, it's a comment, but also like inflation is killing businesses, it's killing jobs, it's making big fluctuations in an economy and prices up and downs. It's very bad in general for normal people, I think. But if you are of course a speculant, it's of course what you live off. But it's very important we try to compete with that and try to create a more stable system, basically, because it will be good for all in society, for all normal people, basically. That's the goal.
Got it. Thank you. So it's time that I call all our earlier panelists to stage, if I may, for Q&A. So Stas, Sergey, Juan, Gustav, can I have you for another like 5-10 minutes for Q&A? Thank you guys.